So you're in sales, you just signed up on a call with a prospect. You need to send your follow-up, update your CRM, and send them that case study they asked for. And your next call starts in 5 minutes. Most reps either rush through this or they skip it and say they're going to get to it later. And then later ends up being 10 p.m. or the next day at best. And then by the time you've waited that long, you've forgotten all the important context that is actually required to make this follow-up stand out. Now, Arrows actually does all of this natively within the product, but I'm going to show you how to prompt Claude to run your post-call follow-up as well. And just like the other videos in this series, in order to run this prompt, you're going to want to install the Arrows Sales Skills connector into Claude. That's going to run you through getting Claude set up for you as a seller and building your seller profile. And then it'll also come with this prompt so that you can run it and get this output that I'm going to show you. So make sure you do that first. I'm going to link the video up top where it shows you how to set all of that up. And then you can go ahead with the rest of this video. Okay, so just like the last videos, we are inside Claude. We are using Cowork. I'm inside my Deals project, and it's been set up with my personalized instructions about who I am and how I sell. Once you have the Arrows Sales Skills connector set up, all you have to do is say run the Arrows post call for whatever your prospect name is, and then Claude will be able to find that, confirm that it's the right customer or prospect, and then give you all the information you need. So let's try it out. Okay, so that took about a minute to run, which is pretty quick. And what it gave me is a follow-up email that I can send to the prospect, a note for the CRM so that the CRM is up to date with everything it needs from that call. And then it's also going to give me a couple discovery gaps. So things that it noticed that I missed during that call that I should ask on the next one to go deeper into discovery, and then anything else that it thinks it should flag. Okay, so let's take a look at this follow-up email. So the one thing to note is that everything that we set up in our My Deals project that included our instructions about who I am as a seller, it includes my voice, how I send my emails. So this should be written in my tone. And so it's basically going to say, these are the people that need the email. This is the subject line that you should send. And then this is what the email should look like. So we're saying hi to the two people that were on the call. As promised, packaging everything up here. Proposal and pricing. It's having us insert the sales room because it knows that we use sales rooms to send to our prospect. 2-minute overview video. So that's something that I would have mentioned in the call of like, I'll send you a demo that you can share with your team. And then we discussed a 7-day trial. And so the best path is installing from the HubSpot app marketplace. You'll need your HubSpot admin to kick that off. And then we just say, totally get the urgency. If anything comes up before you finalize things with finance, I'm around, happy to jump on a quick call. Curious to hear where you land after your competitor calls as well. So this sounds great. I would actually add my own links in here. But otherwise, this tone of voice sounds a lot like me. So basically from here, I would just copy this over and then send it off from Gmail. The next thing we get is the CRM note. So this is something that you can copy or paste into your CRM. In this case, we use HubSpot. But this is just giving me like a quick call summary, key stakeholders, next steps, and then open items and flags. Anything that Claude saw from that initial call that should be flagged for the sales rep to review. Now it's giving us some resources to send. So this is like, if we have those resources available, this is what would be good here. So it's saying competitive angle. We know that they are also evaluating 2 other competitors. And so it's saying if you have any materials that would show the competitive angle between those tools and Arrows, you should send those. And then case study and social proof. So it suggests sending a case study from a company that made a similar switch from their previous tool into Arrows. And then the last thing we're going to get is discovery gaps. So this is one where, again, Claude is looking at the call recording, looking at everything in the HubSpot deal and saying, these are things that we still need to know. So in this example, there's a question about who the operations person is that is going to be able to grant access to some of the systems that are needed for this implementation. Claude doesn't feel that it's clear who is actually going to sign off on this deal. And then budget confirmed. So Claude is just saying here that there is a deal amount that is in the CRM right now, but it wasn't explicitly accepted or referenced during the call. And then it's also sending us one flag on timing. So we said we'd send all of this right after the call on May 6th. This person needed it for finance submission by the next morning, May 7th. So we need to make sure it gets sent out as soon as possible. So that's a pretty thorough post-call workflow that gives me everything I need to be able to send that out really, really quickly and get the CRM updated with a note about this deal. And like I said, all of that happened within about a minute of me running this prompt inside Claude. Now, if I was going to update anything, I would probably come back to the email up here and say that I don't want it to use any M dashes because Everyone hates em dashes right now. And so I'm actually going to ask it to remove the em dashes from the follow-up email, and I'm going to also add it to update my instructions to remove them in the future. Okay, so I gave it that prompt, and we'll give it just a minute here and just see what it comes up with. Okay, perfect. So now here's the corrected email. So everything else looks good, and we just removed the em dashes. It's using colons instead, and just regular dashes, which is how I typically write anyway. And then it's also updated the rule in my project instructions file. So going forward, no em dashes and anything drafted in my voice, which is perfect. Exactly what we want. All right, so that's the post-call workflow. You run it as soon as your call ends, and within a minute or two, you're going to have all of that stuff ready to send over to your prospect. And the 3 tools in the Arrows Sales Skills connector that we've covered so far are the Arrows Daily Brief, the pre-call workflow, and the post-call workflow. And those are really the core of your daily workflow in sales. You start your day with the brief, you prep for individual calls before they happen, and you run the post-call right after. The next skill that we're going to cover is a deal nudge, and this is one that you're going to use when you have a deal that has stalled and you want to re-engage them. So I'll show you how to run that prompt in the next video. See you there.